Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to check the AKK New Era, a dual antenna 5.8 GHz video transmitter. In this video I'm going to quickly go over its features and specs, show you how to set it up, measure its output strength, and finally head outdoors and test it out. In terms of packaging, inside the box along with the VTX you can find the user manual and two omnidirectional antennas that are using an AM6 antenna connector. The antennas are not identical and they are using different circular polarization. One of them is marked with R, which stands for RHCP, and the second one is marked with L, which stands for LHCP. In terms of specs, the input voltage of the VTX is between 7 to 35 volts. It supports TBS Smart Audio 2.0 protocol, it features an onboard microphone, the output power is selectable between 25, 50, 200 and 400 millivolts, and of course the highlight feature is the dual AM6 antenna connectors, which are marked with the polarization of the antenna. In addition, the VTX comes with 8 cm long silicone wires pre-soldered to its pads. The weight including them is 4.5 grams, and without them it weighs 3.3 grams. The weight of each antenna is 2.8 grams, so the total weight of two antennas and the VTX is 9 grams. Finally, the VTX is using 20 by 20 mm M2 mounting holes, and its outer dimensions are 25 by 25 by 3.5 mm. Setting up the frequency and the output strength of the VTX is done either using this dedicated button or using Smart Audio protocol, which is the easier and preferable option. In order to configure the VTX using the dedicated button, first either disconnect the Smart Audio wire or disable the Smart Audio option on Betaflight. Then short press the button in order to switch between the 8 available channels. Long press it for 2 seconds in order to switch between the 5 available bands, and long press it for 5 seconds in order to switch between the 4 power output options. When the right green LED is solid, it means that the VTX is set to channel 1. When the center red LED is solid, it is set to band A, and when the left blue LED is solid, the power output is 25 mW. In order to configure the VTX using TBS Smart Audio protocol, solder this pad to a free TXU out port on your flight controller. Then after connecting the flight controller to your computer, under the port section on Betaflight, next to the yacht that you used, set the peripherals option to VTX TBS Smart Audio, hit save and reboot, and in case you're using Betaflight 4.1.0 and above, you will also need to set the VTX table, and I'm going to leave a link to the JSON settings file in the description box down below. After you've got everything configured, you can either set the frequency and the output strength using these options, or using Betaflight's OSD. Now I'm going to measure the output strength of the VTX. Ideally I would have measured the output strength of both AM6 connectors simultaneously, but unfortunately I only have a single immersion LC RF meter, and by the way I double checked it with AKK, and it's possible to connect a single antenna without the second one and not damage the VTX, so I'm also going to check this option. When the VTX is set to 25 mW, on the RHCP connector I'm getting about 21 mV. Let's disconnect the LHCP antenna, and now I'm getting about 25 mV. On 25 mW on the LHCP connector without the RHCP antenna being connected, I'm getting about 24 mV, and after plugging the RHCP antenna, I'm only getting about 7 mV. Now the VTX is set to 50 mV, and on the RHCP connector I'm getting about 73 mV. On the LHCP connector I'm only getting about 20 mV, and after removing the RHCP antenna, I'm getting about 52 mV. Now the VTX is set to 200 mV, and on the RHCP connector I'm getting about 240 mV. On the LHCP connector I'm getting about 80 mV, and after disconnecting the RHCP antenna I'm getting about 230 mV. Finally, when the VTX is set to 400 mV, on the RHCP connector I'm getting about 550 mV. On the LHCP connector I'm getting about 230 mV. And after removing the RHCP antenna, I'm getting about 340 mV. These results teach us that in case you're going to use a single antenna, you should use the RHCP connector, and also explain why I got pretty bad results when testing two omnidirectional RHCP and LHCP antennas in comparison to my usual setup of an omnidirectional and patch antennas. I'm going to wrap up this video with flight footage where I tested this video transmitter using the different power options and different antennas on my video receiver. After testing it out, I can't really tell you that there is a big advantage of using a dual antenna setup versus a single one, but maybe if you're going to use better antennas, and maybe if you're going to try other ways of mounting them on your drone, you're going to get better results. So if you're looking for something new to experiment with, you might want to give it a try. I hope you will enjoy the rest of this video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you like this video, and consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notifications bell if you're not already subscribed. See you on my next videos, and goodbye.